load. I didn't think we'd have 500 people completely on this call, but we have, and you've probably got your friends and your family and your people in your team right now going, I can't get on, I can't get on, I can't get on. So we will leave it with us. We will sort it out. The fabulous queen that is Lucy, NVP Lucy Superfox will sort that out, and we will let you know exactly what is going to happen, whether they're going to be adding more on or we're going to do an overflow. But congratulations for the ones that are on here. You showed up, you're on time, and you're absolutely in the right place at the right time. So have a breather. Hi everyone, my name is Nicola Wills. I am an ENVP with this incredible, life-changing, global, banging business opportunity, right? I've been with Arbonne now for 7 years, and I can hand on heart say that is absolutely, categorically the number one best decision of my whole entire life by saying yes to this business. It took me a while. It took me 3 years to say yes, but when I finally did, everything has changed. I'm currently here living in Ibiza, living the life of my dreams, and obviously my dreams grow, so I've come here and now I've got even bigger dreams, but I'm living the life of my dreams with my 2 little girls and my fabulous, beautiful husband, Ben, who's also in the business as well at the 3rd level. And it is just the most incredible business opportunity. But the only reason I am able to live this way is that I became a master of enrolling and in inviting people to take a look, inviting people to join me on this incredible journey, inviting people to take a look at the Be Well, inviting people to take a look and become preferred clients. And this is what this masterclass is all about. It is about helping you become a person that people join, okay? Because without that, unfortunately, you have no business. You are just a product user with a great discount, enjoying some personal development. And I know that is also fabulous, but I know every single 500 of us are on this call tonight because you want to grow a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, and we are going to absolutely share that with you this evening. So we've got training for you tonight. The incredible ENVP Claire Fishington, NVP Sarah Law, MVP Lisa D, ENVP Sarah Dunning. And now none of these women, in whatever shape or form they come in, are typical. There's not one cell of their body or being that is typical. So what you're about to hear from them is not typical, but please do go check out earnings.arbonne.com to see what is typical. If you don't really work this business, if you kind of put along, if you don't choose to enroll, you might find out what's typical, but if you absolutely go for it, you could end up like one of these fabulous humans on this call this evening. So I'm going to hand over to my absolute gorgeous friend, all the way from our Arts Ed days. I can see Kay Murphy on here as well. Our Arts Ed days, yay, back in the day. My beautiful friend and I, Claire Fishington, we trained together at the same stage school when we were 18 years old. And here we are, grown women as adults, using this business to transform our lives and help others. So I'm going to hand straight over to the one and only Claire Fish. Are you on this call? I can't even see her now. Give me a wave, Claire. Da, da, da.
Hello.
There she is. Oh my goodness.
Thank you. Thank you so much, gorgeous. I just love that we get to do this together. And thank you for upgrading me a moment ago with Executive National Vice President. Sounds so good. So I hope you are all amazing. And I'm so excited about this call. So I'm going to crack on straight away. And for those of you that don't know me, I am obviously Ginger from Essex. And I absolutely love this business with my whole heart. And what I want you to know is that 2012, my life depended on this business. So my topic is why enroll. And I want you to imagine that there is someone like me that is waiting for you to message them. My life depended on this, not only financially, time-wise. It's made me feel emotional, personal development, the lot, everything. I needed this business in so many ways. So when you're thinking about enrolling, why should you enroll? Because people want a place where they can feel like they belong. And we have that in abundance. And that's what this business gave me. I feel like I came home. It sounds so cheesy, right? When I found Arbonne, I feel like I came home. Like, oh my God, I've got my people. You are my people. I might never have met you before, but let me tell you, I would love to have a wine or a cup of tea with you, right? So, when your why to give you the motivation to take the action that you need to enroll people, we've got to do the work, right? But I want you to imagine that's something that you desire so much. Imagine there's two massive towers, right? And there's a bridge between the two towers that you can get across. And one side there's your family and the people that you love most. You know, what would you do if that was on fire? You would do anything to get across there. So I honestly had that feeling about my Arbonne business, because I was in a situation where I was desperate. And I honestly believe that we act out of either pleasure or pain when our whys come into everything. My driver is definitely pain. I know it's a bad thing, right? But the pain of something, like not being the way that I desired, not having the life that I desired, that's what made me take the action. And when we're thinking about enrolling people, I want you to think, right, let's all just think about this moment. The moment your sponsor, whoever it was, or you heard the word Arbonne, how did you feel in that moment? I think that right in the comments, I can't actually see because my computer wasn't working, so I'm on my phone. It crashed on me just before this call. But right in the comments, what's the word? Okay, so the first word that I saw is the word that I was going to say, and it's hope. How dare we not share that word, hope, for people? How dare we not give that to people? When you're thinking about a person, you think, oh, I don't want to reach out to them because ... The reason why you need to reach out to them is because you don't know. We never know what's going on behind closed doors. And I used to think of Arbonne, right, as the person, right? So I've got a best friend. This best friend, I thought, oh my God, she's going to be amazing at Arbonne. So spoke to her, she didn't want to do it. Now, what I should have done is seen her as a doorway to a network of amazing people, other people that I could help, even if she didn't want to do it. But I, unfortunately, at the time, saw her as a destination. And I thought, I don't want to speak to any of her friends because one day she's going to do Arbonne. She never did Arbonne, and all those other friends never did Arbonne because I didn't take charge of that. So when you think of this, when you're thinking about why to enroll, it's the doorway of people, of lives. So I want you to imagine me, can't even speak, and imagine thousands of people behind me. That is the opportunity when you speak to that one person. So the why is, right, imagine having a national vice president in all of the teams and satellite teams. I think of myself as like a mini Arbonne franchise. I'm a walking, talking advert. Here we go, let's go, right? And when we enroll people, that's what we're creating. We're actually creating super fans. So I feel like super fans, and there's a great book that Sarah reminded me that I have. Oh, so good. Super Fans by Pat Flynn. And it's up there, right? So these super fans are going to tell other people, and those, obviously we want customers that are super fans as well. But I think that the reality of it is we all want global people. I want you to visualize that. I think we lose sight in the hope of the vision sometimes of like, what is actually possible with this? It's amazing. Super fans bring other super fans, and that's the important part of it. And it's the lifeblood of our business. You know, we've all been in different stages of our business with sponsoring. And I'm going to be completely honest. I've been in the tumbleweed phase at times in my business. You know, we're just like, that's interesting, those sponsoring numbers. Whatever point it's at, tumbleweed. Nobody wants to be in the tumbleweed phase, let me tell you. It's not the one, right? And then you've got the wind, the blustery winds that you're just like, oh, this is really lovely. It's happening. Like, I'm in momentum a little bit. And then you've got the tornado. And sometimes I wish the tornado wasn't happening so much, right? And then guess what? I went to a blistery wind, and then I go back to a tumbleweed. We always want the tornado to happen. That's when the magic's happening, when it's like flying in and out, and it's just so exciting. You want to be a flipping tornado. Yes, Mary. So I just feel like your reason why for you doing this is the reason why you absolutely have to, no matter what, speak to everyone that you know to give them the vision and the hope of what is possible with Arbonne. Because you know what? It might not be them, but they might join for a minute and tell someone else who is your direct national vice president, whose life you changed forever from doing this business. And that is the most important thing. So just decide today to have your why close to your heart, because your why is what other people's are and why you should be enrolling. And just no matter what, make the decision to do the activity to create that, which the girls are going to cover. Thank you so much for having me on. Back to Nicola. I'm so excited for this. Thank you.
Oh my God, don't you just love her so, so much? Thank you so, so much, Claire. And, you know, going on to that, like, you just don't know. For me, enrollment has been absolutely everything within my business. So I'm going to quickly share a story before I pass on to the incredible ENVP 20 Wide Lucy Superfox. But before I hand over to her, I'm going to just share with you a story. So when I was let's say struggling, because I was area manager, I went to a product event, which was terrible, that I laid out all my products and I stood there and I spoke to people that weren't interested, right? And there was one girl who seemed to be kind, but that was kind of it, right? And then a year later, but she added me on Instagram. A year later, this girl got in contact with me. She's like, oh, you know, I'm kind of ready to change my life. I'd love to talk to you. So I sat and I talked to her. Okay, this girl's name was Lorena. So I spoke to Lorena. Lorena joined my team. She didn't do much. She sponsored a girl called Cecilia, who didn't do much. She also sponsored a girl called Laura, who also didn't do much. But Laura introduced me to a girl called Sarah Brockbank, who lives in New Zealand, right? All these three people have quit their businesses. And now Sarah Brockbank is direct to me over in New Zealand, which then has allowed me to have one of the biggest teams in the whole of New Zealand. Like Claire was saying, it isn't that person that you know, it's who does that person lead to, that doorway. And every single piece of Arbonne activity, even if it feels like this is a waste of time, what am I doing here? No one cares. Always, 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 without fail, will lead to something. So showing up, even when you don't feel like, absolutely is everything within your business. Thank you so much, Claire. I just love that training so much. So I'm going to hand over now to my wonderful direct MVP, the incredible Lucy Superfox.
Oh, Nick, thank you so much. And I love that story so much about the girls in New Zealand, because it's just to think, you know, if Nick hadn't have said yes, and then that girl hadn't have said yes, that one simple question, that one simple answer. So I know that we have maxed out, and obviously I was like 500, that'll be fine. But you know what? It just shows that people are fully in the swing, fully ready to go to build their businesses. And so I have been trying for the past 15 minutes to upgrade this Zoom. So if you're on the overflow, I'm sorry. It pays to be early in this business when Lucy's organising Zoom. That's all I'm saying. So one of the things I wanted to share with you guys tonight is all around business builders and brand ambassadors. Now, we've already got an overflow, so the overflow is in the link, so one of the nations can put it in there rather than having multiple overflows, if that's okay. So let me just share a little bit about with you. I think there are multiple ways to join this business, and I actually think that this has evolved over the last couple of months with the addition of recommended car. So very much we used to have kind of, and these do still exist, so please know this is just my interpretation of what we have, independent consultants and preferred clients. And what that meant was product users, business builders. And I believe there's a bit in the middle. And this is where Be Well is helping us bridge the gap between preferred clients and independent consultants. This is a huge bridge for us. But the piece that's in the middle is the piece that I believe is something we can all go out and sponsor and enroll a ton of these people in the middle. I refer to them as brand ambassadors. So business builders in this business are people that genuinely want to build a big business. They have a big vision. They're ready to rock and roll. They want to do the work on enrolling consultants and preferred clients. And preferred clients on this end are people who just want to use the products, be consumers, you know, show up to Be Well, do the 30-day plan 4 times a year, you know, do 250 QV a month. They are the dream. But there are people in the middle that love our products, that love our community, that love our culture, and that are absolutely happy to show up on social media, say what they're using, recommend what they're using, but they don't necessarily want to build a team and go on to build a big business. And so I really believe there's a gap that we have filled with recommended cart. Before I started this business, I was a brand ambassador for a big nutrition company called Optimum Nutrition. They are huge. Now, what we had a code, right? So we had Lucy 25, and that got them 25% off. Now, I could obviously earn commissions on that, which was amazing, but I never scaled into building a big business. But a lot of people are so familiar with that brand ambassador model. They're so familiar with that middle ground. There is a huge opportunity for us to help people see the ability to step into our business as consumers, to then maybe upgrade to still under a consultant umbrella. A brand ambassador would still be a consultant, but to really work that recommended cart feature just like a brand ambassador if they're not ready to build the big business. Now, I'm a big believer in putting people in the right buckets. Earlier this year, I did a big amount of maths on if somebody had been a preferred client in your central district versus a consultant, how much more money you would have earned over the year. So putting people in the right buckets is so, so key. But I really believe, especially with Be Well, and people are embracing our culture, they're seeing what we have, they're seeing what we're about. We have this middle ground with recommended cards. So when you are going out there to enroll people, I absolutely want you to be thinking, what bucket am I putting them in? Now, I did a drawing on the back of this paper, but it just looks like cow's udders. So I'm definitely not going to show you about the 3 buckets that I personally have in my business when I'm speaking to somebody. So every single person and every single success line has their own system, right? You have been taught from message templates to how to speak to people. I'm not going to try and supersede that tonight. But what I want you to think about when you speak to somebody is always lead with the biggest vision possible for that person. And I know that Sarah and Lisa are going to come on to talk about that later tonight. So I always lead with the business. It's always been the thing that I'm most passionate about. Our business is our most incredible product. When I lead with the business, I then can see from how they respond. Is it that they've got an objection to network marketing? Is it that they don't think that building a big business is for them? They haven't got the time. They haven't got the money. Is there something within that where I could paint the opportunity for them to become a brand ambassador, to use the products at an amazing discount, promote them on their social media, use the recommended cart feature, which if you guys haven't used it and generated a link, you can obviously create generic baskets. You can have these as links in your bio. You can have these as links to send to people. If there's someone that's already doing this as part of their life, if that's not something that they want to run with, or I can see that in that conversation, they're just not really open to business or open to doing anything new, then that's the opportunity for me to speak to them about one of our programs. The 30-day program, Be Well, or becoming a preferred client, using or replacing 3 or 4 of the products that they already use from another brand and looking to switch each month. So I really focus on a hierarchy in that conversation. Now, you definitely may have a different mix for this, and you may have different goals depending on where you're at in your business and what your focus is on. But I always believe that if we lead with the biggest thing that we have and they end up as preferred clients, we're still winning. So in this business, we do 3 things, right? We share, we serve, and we sell. It's my new thing in the Superfox Nation. We've got 3 S's, right? And so we'll share in all of those 3 scenarios. If by sharing the products, by sharing what we're using, by sharing what we're doing, we're on our morning start well session, we're drinking our greens drink, we're doing our face. By doing these things, we're sharing. And in turn, other people will see what we're using and what we're doing. We're serving, right? So when we show up and we are training our teams, or we're doing our own personal development, or we're doing our 30-day plan, or helping people jump onto our 30-day plan or Be Well, we're serving them. We're helping them know something more. We're helping them grow. Or whether you're running like a skin workshop or you're running an event online, you're serving people. And then obviously off the back of those 2 things comes selling our products and selling our amazing business opportunity. So I just want you to think about when you are, thinking about your business, and if you treat this like a business, you will have some kind of strategy. We're not going to get all complicated here, but you will have an approach to how you're doing this. I really believe if you ask yourself on a weekly basis, am I sharing? Am I serving? And in turn, then am I selling? When it comes to speaking to people, you'll already be doing all the things you need to do. You'll be putting stuff on social media. You'll be starting conversations because you're giving people these things. Then when you get into those conversations, you can create your own way that you want to speak to them, whether it's about building what I call a business builder, whether it's about being a brand ambassador, or about one of our preferred client options. Now, obviously, the biggest thing that dictates whether somebody joins the business as a PC, an IC, or a brand ambassador is all down to the invite and the ask. And again, every single team has got a different way of teaching this, but just some top tips for me on how to build your messages. So I don't actually believe in teaching message templates. Instead, I think it's important to understand the structure of how to build your own messages and things to include. So some top tips from me on how to build your messages for people that are on your list or in your world or will be in your world are, number 1, make it really personal. I call everyone babe. I'm like, babe, lovely, honey. And that's great when you're in person with someone because they feel like that it's affectionate, it's kind. But on social media, it actually feels really generic. And so one of the things that I've gone to do is, even if it's not in their Insta bio, is I've gone through their feed to try and find their name. because then it looks like I've really taken the time, or I've really listened to their stories and I've really got to know them. Especially if their name's spelt funny, make sure that iPhone especially doesn't autocorrect the spelling of their name. And that for me has been a real game changer, because they know then I'm sending that message to them. Number 2, make it detailed. So not just, you look nice in your picture from the weekend. Oh my God, that blue dress, where's it from? It's absolutely incredible. It suits you so much, matches your skin tone. Be detailed, be super personal. And the third thing that I always include is, if I, would you? So whether that is, if I was to send you a business presentation, would you watch it? If I was to invite you to my skin event on Thursday night, would you show up? If I was to send you a link to a great personal development audio I'm listening to, would you be up for watching it with me? So if I, would you, in whatever area that you're speaking to that person in. Now let me check. I have to check my notes. So I always want to say as well, when it comes to PCs, we only want to take somebody from a PC into that brand ambassador or into that consultant bucket if they genuinely want to build a business, or they genuinely want to sell products. Oh, the waiting room's a bit mad. Or they genuinely want to sell products, because we want to keep hold of that commission, guys. Most people start this business because they want to earn money. All the good extra stuff about making friends, having an amazing community, that comes later. So don't give away your commission because actually you think that that's the best way to get people on your team. It's not. Put people in the right buckets. But where I feel that we have this middle ground between PC and IC is this brand ambassador realm. And these are for people that genuinely want to share on social media, they want to sell, they want to make money, but they're not necessarily ready to put themselves out there to invite people to a launch. This is a great opportunity for you to teach, train, and help them on how to use social media both compliantly, integrally, and super personally for them. I always recommend, if you're going to put someone in that bucket though, that they need to be doing either Be Well, or they need to be on the 30-day plan, because they need to have something to truly document on their social media that makes them really relatable and people are interested in what they're doing. And even if they're not actively reaching out to a 100-person list in their first month, that they're actively part of our community, sharing, serving, and selling. Final thing to think about on your messages. So just think about these 3 things whenever you write a message. It's what you say, it's how you say it, and it's who you are. That indicates basically what you're going to get. So what is it you're going to say? I always think just be casual but confident. What I call the Sarah Dunning calmness. The sense of just utter calmness and utter confidence. How you say it, as I touched on already, is it personal and is it you, or is it clearly a copy paste situation from something in your team handbook or whatever it is? And number 3 is who you are. And this is why your social media, or how do you know this person, of course, if this is a face-to-face prospect, how you know this person, who you are, is where you're going to build your influence. So either when you speak to this person, they're not going to have a clue who you are and they don't really care who you are, or actually you're going to be in a position where you've built a great relationship with this person, you've got things in common. So always think about when you're building your messages to that person, it's not just what you say, there is no perfect template. It's not just how you say it, there is no perfect tone. It's all about who you are and the approach that you're taking with that person. Guys, prospecting is an art, not a science. There's no perfect way to do it, and you will find a personal way to you. So what I would love for you to do is I'd love for you as a little task from me to take away from this. And it's going to be a task from each of the speakers tonight. I'm not going to show you the drawing because it's true. I honestly can't draw. Is I want you to draw 3 buckets next to on a piece of paper. So you've got your business builder, like, yes, let's go. Like I was when I joined, I was like, yes, Nicola, tell me what to do. I'll do anything you want me to do. Didn't work out all the time, but I was like, I'm here. And then you've got people who are like, yeah, I totally love the products. I'm all over it. Want to share them, want to sell them. I'm just not sure I'm ready to jump fully in yet. So they're your brand ambassadors. And then you've got your PCs or your Be Well customers, which I know we're going to come on to in a minute. And I want you to think about what you would say, how you would say it, and how who you are will affect the conversation you have with those people. So as much as I've said I don't want you to have a message template, I want you to think about message structures that you could use to prompt yourself in each of these 3 scenarios. So that's it from me. I'm going to hand straight back to the fabulous Nicola Wills.
Oh my goodness, don't you just love her so much? Thank you so much, Lucy. And I think that's it. Like for such a long period of time, for anyone that's been in this business for a few years or more, we were always kind of like on the back foot of speaking to people because it kind of wasn't cool. But I'm sorry, if there is ever a business that is cool, that is on point, that is sexy, that is the place to be, that every single teenager wants to be. They want to be an online influencer, right? Being a brand ambassador. We have that in the palm of our hands. So thank you so much, Lucy, for really sharing that. It was really clear, it was really obvious, that perfect slot. So how many brand ambassadors can you go and enroll by the end of this month? You know, we're so blessed because today, for the first time ever, halfway through the month, R1 have offered us free enrollment with a sign up of 150 QV here in the UK. So absolutely go out there and share that like your life depends on it. We have got a few questions coming in, which is absolutely amazing. And I do want you to keep hold of your questions, but they will be answered as long as we've got time at the end with a Q&A session. So if you have got questions, don't put them in the chat right yet because they will get missed. Save them, and at the end we will pop them in there when I say give a good thumbs up, we'll pop them in there and then we can get them answered for you. There are a few people that just want to help. There's a few new people saying, oh, I'm about this, what about this, brand newbies. There are two books that I highly recommend, of course, listening to us, listening to your upline and absolutely, going for it. But for me, there were two books. My best friend was my upline and I loved him, but I was like, oh yeah, cool, whatever. But it wasn't until I read the books that I was like, actually, he does know what he's talking about. And so the books are GoPro by Eric Worre. So a lot of the things that Lucy was speaking about come from a book called GoPro by Eric Worre. And then another book, which I personally recommend because I feel like if I had actually got off my ass and written a book about this industry, this would have been the book. It's called Get Over Your Damn Self by Romy Neustrap. Get Over Your Damn Self by Romy Neustrap. Those two books, listen to those, read them, take notes of them, and you'll be all set and good to go. So amazing, Lucy. Thank you so, so much for that. So handing over to my next absolute queen, my Ibiza babe, who lives here with me, the one and only 20 wide, Executive National Vice President, Sarah Law. There we go.
Oh, I'm unmuted. Amazing. Hello. Thank you so much, Nick, over the other side of the island. Hello, everybody. So good to be with you all. And thank you so much, everyone who's trained so far this evening. It's been epic. I'm sure you're all in agreement with me that already your hands are on fire from taking so many notes. So what I want to talk to you all about this evening is preferred clients, because I absolutely love everything about this business. I absolutely love sharing the business concept with people because it's changed my life dramatically. And I know that we've got an incredible gift to give to people, but let's not forget that we have an incredible gift to give to people with the products and with the other offerings that we have as well. So preferred clients are like the mortar to your bricks. The bricks are your consultants, the preferred clients stick everything together. So I just want you to imagine waking up on like the 7th of the month, a week into the month, already seeing 2,500 QVs in your stats purely from preferred client sales. How would that feel? Like, wouldn't it just be incredible to be like, brilliant, 2,500 done, just like that? That's absolutely possible for each and every one of you if you make preferred clients a focus in your business as well as consultants. So like Lucy said, it's about putting people in the right buckets. And when you do that, it makes your life so much easier because you're not trying to drag people to where they don't want to go. And I truly believe that now we've got the Be Well Club, it makes it even easier because you now have the ability to kind of really interview people. I treat it like an interview process. And I'm like, actually, does this person have what it takes to be a great consultant? Are they willing to do the work or not? If not, I'm going to put them in the Be Well bucket and I'm going to make them do the personal development first, commit to that and see if they show up to it. And if so, then yes, let's upgrade them. And actually, one of my Be Well members recently did upgrade to being a consultant, and it's incredible. She is the most committed, coachable person ever because she's already been in that process through being part of the Be Well Club. She's been on every morning routine, the Start Well mornings. She's been on the book clubs. She's been used to using the products every single month. So when she upgraded, she was already used to doing all those things. So it's not like I've even had to say, do this, do that. She's like, yep, how do I do? She's just on everything. So I truly believe it's such an incredible transition when we focus on preferred clients to become consultants that way. So think of yourself like Richard Branson, CEO, and you're looking for your board of directors. They're your consultants. Everyone else goes in the PC bucket. So I want to talk a little bit about how to increase preferred clients. So firstly, make the Be Well Club a huge focus in your business. Make it a huge focus. If you're not yet, be committed to it, honestly, because it will change your business so much. And especially when you see how much of an impact the Be Well Club has on people, you'll want to do it even more. So be really focused on it. And I want to give you 5 ways to increase your members within the Be Well Club. So number 1, what I'd encourage you to do is go through all the lists of all the people you've ever presented the business to who were a no. Go back to those people and just say, look, I know the business isn't for you. So just take the pressure off them. I know the business isn't for you, but we've just started this incredible new club called the Be Well Club, and the results we're having from it are astounding. We're seeing people dramatically shift in their growth, in their confidence, in their energy, because it's about mind and body combined. I'd love to send you a bit of information. If I were to send you some information, would you be up for taking a look? Simple. So for most of you who have been in the business for a while, you have spoken to a lot of people, I'm sure, asked a lot of people to look at the business, and you've probably had a lot of no's. I hope you have. I really hope you've had a lot of no's. So you've got a massive list of people there that you can go back to. And the great thing as well is to think to yourself, if you kept in touch with those people, which again, I really hope you did, that it wasn't just a no, right, that's it, I'm never speaking to them ever again. Keep in touch with people, because you don't know when a no might become a yes. And this is why I'm such a huge fan of making proper or building proper relationships. When you're building proper relationships on things like social media, it means that you're going to stay in touch with those people. You're going to stay connected and be friends, which means you can go back and offer something else. And they'll be watching and they'll be looking at your stories. And if you're posting about the Be Well Club, they'll be like, what is this Be Well thing you're talking about all the time? So it's like you've got the relationship, whereas if I could speak, it was just like a direct ask that you're doing to someone and it's an outright no, the likelihood of being able to build a relationship or for them to kind of follow you is less. So building those relationships can be really solid. So number 1, go through all the lists of people you've already presented to. Number 2, if you've been in the business a while, again, go through who used to be consultants who are no longer consultants, because those people joined Arbonne for a reason. Probably a lot of them joined for the community aspect, for the personal growth. There were people who were probably part of the business who just loved being a part of something. They loved being a part of a community. I know I have definitely had a lot of people in my business who absolutely loved just showing up to trainings and being a part of the fun and the community. They get that through the Be Well Club. So go back to them and say, look, I know being a consultant wasn't for you, but I truly believe the Be Well Club could be everything that you were looking for as a consultant that you didn't quite, without the business building side of things. So go back to those people. I actually reached out to one of my ex-consultants who still loves the products. And I said exactly that to her. I was just like, I just know that you're so into personal growth. You're on such a journey that the Be Well Club would be everything for you. And she was like, definitely, I want to have a look at it. So that's number 2. Number 3, obviously your existing preferred clients, don't forget about those people, because I think sometimes we forget about our existing preferred clients and just think, oh, they're already buying skincare. It's like, well, no, offer them what we've got. And you could also ask them for referrals. So what I did when the Be Well Club first started was I contacted all of my preferred clients, and I did it in an indirect ask kind of way. So instead of directing it at them, I just sent them all a message saying that we've just launched something I'm so excited about. I'm so passionate about it because it's about working on mind and body combined. And this is what it's all about. Just shared a brief of what they get, what people get when they join the Be Well Club. Do you know a couple of people that need this right now? And they were then producing referrals for me. So number 4 is attracting people to you. The golden scenario that we all want is we want people flocking to us going, I want to be part of your Be Well Club, of course. And social media is a huge part of that now. So with social media, what I've been talking to my team a lot about is really knowing your niche. Who is it that you want to attract on social media? And the likelihood is you'll probably attract people who are very much like you. So if you're a mum, you'll be attracting lots of mums because they'll follow you because they'll resonate with you. So think about your niche, the people that you attract like you, and what parts of the Be Well Club could help that person. So if you're someone who attracts really busy corporate women, you could literally talk on every single post about why busy corporate women need to meditate, why busy corporate women need to do gratitude, why they need to move their bodies, why they need to eat properly, why they need quick things on the go. Literally every post you do could subliminally be about the Be Well Club. But you don't have to mention the Be Well Club in every single post. It's about giving value, adding tips that people go, oh my God, yeah, okay, you've made me think I need to do that now. So you're planting the seeds. And then it's like every third post, say, this is why I'm so passionate about the Be Well Club we run, because this is what we do every day. So you're planting the seeds all the time. It's just like those subliminal subconscious messages, but you're also adding value. And this is something I'm so passionate about, making sure you add value. Like, don't just post for the sake of posting. And I know Lisa's going to talk a lot more about social media, but it's really thinking, what can you give to people? The people that look up to you and are inspired by you on social media, that need help from you, how can you help them? So that's why it's really important to know the people that you attract, so that you know what their problems are and how you can help them. And then number 5, finally, for each member that you do have in the Be Well Club, treat them like freaking gold. Treat them like gold. You want them to be your absolute raving fans, because once they are, they're going to be talking about it all the time. So, of course, the great thing with the Be Well Club is we have so much to offer them. You know, they get the texts, they get the morning routines, they get everything. But what else can you do to really build that trust and that relationship, and to add even more value to that person, and to build a friendship? That's what you want to do, is you want to build a solid friendship. So once you've done that, ask them if they know 1 to 2 people, and you want to be specific with the kinds of people that they would know. So again, think about that person that is your Be Well member, and think, who are their circle? What kinds of people do they know? So who are they? Do they work in the corporate world? Are they a mum? Who do they know? And ask for 1 to 2 people and be specific about what you're asking for. So for example, if they work in the corporate world, say to them, do you know 1 or 2 women, corporate women, who are stressed out and really need to look after their mind and body? Because I think the Be Well Club could be a great thing for them. So you're giving specifics about the kinds of people, because if you just kind of go, do you know someone? People go, oh, it's too open. Whereas if you're like, do you know 2 women in the corporate world who are really stressed right now? If they're working in that environment, they'll be like, yeah, I know 10 women in that place right now. So when you've done that, reward them generously for their referrals. Of course, we have the host perks now, so you can give them that extra bit of discount, but I think go above and beyond that. Like, be freaking generous. Think, what is it that they would love? And spend money, like literally spend money on them. I've done loads of different things where I've spent a lot of money gifting my preferred clients. It can be with Arbonne products, but I've also gifted them with other things that I know they'd love. Leggings, other things that I just know they'd be like, wow, I want more of this. So outside of the Be Well Club, of course, we've got that, fabulous. Outside of the Be Well Club, we've got preferred clients as well. So again, I want you to think about the people you know and what they complain about the most. Are you offering the solution? Because that's what we have, don't we? And if you become receptive to people, you hear them talking all the time about their issues, about their skin, about their weight, about their energy. We can hear it all the time. So when you become receptive to that and you pick up on those things, you have something to offer them with Arbonne. So don't be afraid to reach out to those people and offer it. And what I'd love you all to do is to take yourself out of the middle, because the only time it becomes hard is when you put yourself in between, and it's like it becomes about you and what are they going to think about me? Am I being pushy? Are they going to think I'm trying to sell to them? Well, yeah, you are, but from a good place. You're trying to help them. So I want you to imagine that you have a best friend that does Arbonne. You don't, but you think the products are amazing, and you hear someone talking going, oh my goodness, my skin's an absolute riot right now. You would have no fear saying, you should speak to my friend Nick. She works with this company Arbonne. The products are amazing. I use them. Have a word with her, because she'll be able to help you out. There'd be no fear. You wouldn't fear judgment. You wouldn't, none of that. The only time you do is when you're in the middle and it's like, oh, but they're going to think I'm trying to sell them something. So just take yourself out of the middle. So that's number 1. And secondly is going back to exactly what Lucy said. Are you sharing what you use and why you use it? Now, you don't need to be spammy with this. So you don't need to, put product pictures all over social media. Please don't do that, because it really doesn't work. So think again about how to share things that have helped you and why they've helped you. So again, going back to what I originally said, who follows you? So they're going to be just like you, and they're going to have the same struggles as you. So if it's sleepless mums, if you're a sleepless mum, you're probably surrounded by other sleepless mums. What are the things that help you? Fizz sticks. You can be talking about the things that have helped you. And you can do it in quite a subliminal way. So on your stories, be talking about the fact that you've had 50 sleepless nights in a row, and be pouring a little fizz stick into a glass and being like, I've got my Wonder Juice, we're all good. And it is those little tiny things that people are like, what is that? You don't even need to mention the name of the product. You don't need to go into walking dictionary mode of, okay, so this has got B vitamins and chromium and you don't need to do that. It's literally like, this is my savior right now. But be talking about the curiosity, exactly that. So don't be a selfish Susan, basically, and keep it to yourself. Share. And then finally, events. Are you actually doing events? And it has never been easier to do events. Like back in the days, we would literally cart all our Arbonne products to people's homes, set up foot spas and all the bloody things and just be like, God, kill me now. Now you can sit on WhatsApp and do an event for 45 minutes whilst you're brushing your teeth or eating your dinner. Like, it is so simple. So are you doing them, and are you doing enough of them? That's the key. So don't do one and think, oh, well, that was like tumbleweed, I'm never doing another one again. Trust me, I've done some that have been absolutely dire and no one's commented on a single thing. I've just been like, is it just me talking to myself? And then I've done other ones where it's just been crazy buzzy and I've not been able to keep up. But you just have to be prepared to do the rubbish ones, to do the good ones. So make sure you're holding enough. Are you asking people to host events for you? So again, ask all of your preferred clients to host one for you. And every time you have an event, a WhatsApp event or a Facebook event or whatever it is, your goal is to get at least one person who attended to host one for you, and make it juicy for them. Again, you want to make it sound so easy for them to host, because it is, and that they can get rewarded massively for being the host. So you just tell them your effort is absolutely minimal. You have to do hardly anything. Just invite your friends to a private WhatsApp group. I will do the rest, and I'm going to reward you generously for being my host. Thank you very much. So, task for you all. We probably haven't got much time to do this, but either do it now or do it when we've finished. I want you to write a list of all the people right now you're going to contact, either now or tomorrow, and I want you to split it into buckets, and I want you to focus on the Be Well. So I want you to have one bucket. It's all about the buckets tonight. One bucket, which is going to be your referral asks. So people you're going to ask for referrals for the Be Well Club. And remember, be specific. Think about the person you're asking and make sure that you ask for specific people that you're looking for that would be connected to them. And then the other bucket is going to be your direct asks of people based on what I've already shared with you about the different people you could ask to be a part of the Be Well Club or to share info with. And that is everything from me.
Oh my goodness. You just love her so much. I feel like I just want to be in your brain and just suck it all up, Sarah, because you're just, the way you explain everything, I just think, oh my goodness, yeah. And you know what? It's so simple, isn't it? It's so simple. It is so easy, but it is so simple not to do these things. And this is the key. This is the most important thing. The few minutes at the very end that Sarah shared with us, the action taking moments, is actually the most important part of what she shared with us this evening, because it is so good to hear all these things. And we go, oh, amazing. God, I could do that. I could do this. And you're going to have all these people pop into your head. And unless you take action on it, your business will not grow. So thank you so much, Sarah. I've got like a full on list, Sarah, for sharing that with us this evening. It was just epic. And also as well, just for you all this evening, what we will be doing is bite-sizing today's trainings into little 7-minute nuggets. So what you heard from Sarah, what you've heard from Lucy, what you heard from Claire are going to be broken down into 7-minute trainings that we can all have access to. Again, how incredible is that? All thanks to incredible Lucy Superfox. So amazing, Sarah. Thank you very, very much for that. And you know what? I can hand on heart say that I have had, some of the worst, and I think people were like, oh, yes, it's so good to hear, the worst product selling experience is of my life. Literally, where I just feel like, please, Earth, just open up and swallow me, because it has to be better than standing here watching this girl rub a Genius pad into her face as she goes bright red and begins to blister. You know, you're just like, it can't be this bad. But you know, we survived, we get through it, we learned. She went to the doctor. Oh my God, you know, and this is it. This is just what happened. It's just part of the journey. If we didn't have these horrific moments, we wouldn't be able to have, you know, it's the yin and yang of life. It's the yin and yang of our businesses. And so don't think that just because we're here being a national vice president, telling you how to do it, that we haven't been in the worst parts where we were terribly getting it so wrong. So I'm going to hand over now to, is she available? Luce, have you seen her? Yes, there she is. I just love this human. She's literally parked up on the road, ready to train us. No doubt she's off to absolutely share the vision with someone. From the side of the road, somewhere in the UK, is the incredible National Vice President, Lisa D.
Hello, everyone. Hi. Yes, I have pulled in. Thank God there's a service station. I'm actually on my way to the airport to do a pickup. But yes, I'm so excited to be here. And I was laughing there, Sarah, with the foot. I was just imagining myself trying to do a foot spa at an event and like me rubbing people's feet. Like, no. When Emily approached me about this business, if I had a thought that I would have to rub people's feet and rub their faces and stuff, I would have been like, not a hope on this earth or any other planet am I doing that. But it's funny because now if I had to do it, I would just do it, right? But that wouldn't have been sexy enough to get me to come in the first place. Anyway, okay, I'm here to talk about social media and showing up on social media, something I love talking about. So first of all, I'm guessing everyone here has an Instagram, Facebook, social media. I focus on Instagram. When I started with my previous business for Arbonne, Facebook, Snapchat was all the rage. Now it's Instagram mostly. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that. It's important to know that your social media, whatever space it is, your Instagram is a digital extension of you, right? It's a digital space. It's your digital space. It's not who you are. It's not your entire life. It's not a personal photo album. It's just a digital space and a digital extension of you. Okay. So I think for a lot of people, there's a lot of kind of worry and panic around social media, not knowing what to post and getting like really, really, really like nervous about it. And it doesn't need to be that way. When you just calm down and you tell yourself, it's just an extra thing that I do. It's just an extension and I get to do what I want with it. Okay. You get to do what you want with it. But obviously to build your business, that there's a smart way to do things, right? So I'm going to focus on that. I want you to think about what you've posted on social media on your Instagram stories this last day, this last 2 days, this last few days. If you have another device there, you can go back and look or think in your head. What if it's not your feed, what's been on your stories? What's the kind of overall message? What's important to you? Who are you? Right? What do you see? So in my team last week, I got my team to check back in their archive. You can go into your story archive and see what you've posted over the last however like years, right? And to check over the last week and the last 2 weeks. And a lot of people, it was just quotes. It was just like text. When you see it in bulk like that, last 4 weeks, this is what you've posted. When you see that so much of it is text, it's like, oh my God, right? Because we know, like, you know that when there's a lot of text all the time, you just kind of tap past it. Does anybody else just tap past it? Unless something has drawn you in, unless it's a conversation that you're excited about, or unless it's somebody that you're really invested in, like you really, like if it's someone that I really look up to, I'm going to read every word, right? But if it's not, I'm probably not going to read all the stuff, okay? So are you showing who you truly are, or are you showing a diluted down version of you because you're afraid of offending people and you really just want to be liked by everyone and you really just want to fit in? Or are you truly being yourself out there? Now, that doesn't mean when I say be yourself, I don't mean like share every aspect of your life. I don't share all my days, but when I do share something, it's me. I'm not trying to be liked. I'm not trying to fit in. Okay? And I've had periods in the past where I was really worried about things like that. I'd overthink it. Now I don't overthink it. Okay. And if Jen is on this call, I feel like we always use Jen as an example. Jen will be laughing because, and every time we think of social media, we think Jen Kilpatrick. Her sponsoring numbers have been through the roof this last couple of weeks. And last month as well, she was like the highest in the nation with new consultants. Okay. Jen is a really, really busy mom. Like I always say she's got 1 million children, so many kids. But when you look at her social media, she is being herself and she is in her power and she is unapologetic about it. Even when she's not talking about network marketing, when she's not talking about the business, right? And guess what? She will repel people. People will hate her for it, but some people will love her for it, and those are her people. Okay, those are her people. And it's the same for me and it's the same for you. So regardless what the conversation is about, if you're truly in integrity with your own values, your own beliefs, what's important to you, because what's important to you isn't going to be important to everyone else and vice versa. And that is okay. That is completely okay. You don't tone yourself down and dilute yourself because you're afraid that not everybody's going to be into it. That's not what it's about. You have to be totally standing in your magic and in your power. Is Jen here? I don't even know. But anyway, shout out to Jen. Go watch her Instagram. That's just an example, okay? So you don't need to be on Instagram talking about network marketing every single day and talking about Arbonne every single day, okay? Because people will tune that out. If you're being your true self and bringing in your other interests and hobbies and passions, that's how you attract in your tribe. Okay, so let's look at, like, you know, health and fitness, holistic health. We're a health and wellness company. We are a health and wellness company, right? 30 Days of Healthy Living is our core best-selling program, right? Like, you've probably been asked this 7 times today already. Have you done it recently? Right? I'm not going to ask you that again. What I'm going to ask you is, do you care about your health overall? Do you care about your body, your mind, your mental health, like your environment around you, the home you're in, the everything? Do you care about that truly? Because if you're partnered with a health and wellness company, which you are because we're on this call, then that's probably going to be something that you're going to need to be a bit more interested in, right? Because if that's not you, right, and there's like no judgment here, whatever you do, but if you're saying, hey guys, buy this 30-day program, but then on your Instagram all the time it's just you eating, I saw someone said sausage roll, eating sausage rolls all the time, you know, never investing in your health in other ways. Like, you're only ever, if your idea of being great at Arbonne and social media and being a healthy person is being like, oh, daily fizz or oh, daily greens, and that's it, you're not doing it right. People are not going to trust you for that. You have to show the other parts of your life that you are choosing health, that you are choosing wellness, that you are choosing to invest in yourself, okay? There's so many different ways you can do that. Whether it's your exercise, your therapy, your cleaning products that you're using, your something about like nature and being out in fresh air, maybe you read something about that and how it helps, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, you have to show more of that. And I've noticed that that's something that I'm really passionate about and really interested in. And my career previous to this was health and fitness. I've always had a love for that stuff, but I find myself just not really talking about it on social media as much. And I don't know why, because I read about that stuff all the time. But recently, over this last few days, I've been kind of like sharing more stuff about like just different chemicals and deodorant and just like, hey, read this. This is really interesting, okay? And I've had people just randomly like buy stuff and message me asking to buy stuff. And I literally wasn't even thinking, oh, if I share this post, someone will buy some deodorant. Like, that wasn't the intention. But I was in my power sharing what was important to me. Does that make sense? Give me a yes or a no. All right. So I want you to do more of that. It's not just, hey guys, fizz or green shot. Like, no. It has to be and this it's not about perfection. I'm not asking you to be perfect or to cut out sugar for the rest of your life or to cut out, you know, move to the forest and just be naked forever and never contact like a toxic chemical again, right? Do that if you want. That actually sounds really fun right now. But anyway, bettering yourself every day is what people are interested in seeing, okay, if you're going to talk about Arbonne. And on this as well, are you speaking on social media in a language that people don't understand? So are you speaking French to someone who only understands English? Would you do that? No, you wouldn't, right? But I see this all the time on social media. People using Arbonne lingo, Arbonne words, and talk like talking about Arbonne as if they're talking to Arbonne people. Your network don't know what on earth they're talking about. You have to talk about network marketing in the business in a way that they can understand. Okay, so if you don't know how to do that, well, why are you doing this? Why do you do this? Bring it back to yourself. Well, I choose this deodorant because blah, blah, blah. Well, I choose to earn extra money because blah, blah, blah. Well, I choose to earn commissions from supplements because blah, blah, blah. You know, like, use normal person language instead of like just posting screenshots of, you know, the Arbonne corporate screenshots. God almighty, please stop. Don't do it. All right. Use your language and talk to people as if they're people, right? Now, on social media, Lucy, how many minutes do I have left? I didn't check. Just give me a chat. 1, 2. It's okay. Okay, great. So next thing, on social media, I hear this a lot as well. Oh, but I just don't feel I don't feel confident, or I need to get my makeup on, or I don't look great today, or whatever. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter. What matters is your energy. You'll see me on social media, you know, like this right now, right? Pulled in the side of the road. Sometimes I'll wear makeup, sometimes I'll have my hair done, but generally speaking, this is actually the way I am every day, right? So if I were to wait until I had makeup on or until I had a blow dry to show up on social, I would never be there. I just would never be there, right? But I'll tell you this, my energy is always there. If I'm going to be on social, my energy is on point. That is what matters. It's the energy. I was saying to my team last night, my delivery driver, really random, but I was feeling so good yesterday evening, and I was walking home and I was just like, God, I am ready for more. There was just some things happening and I was like, yes, like I was just in that state, just wearing normal clothes. My delivery driver, I opened the door and he handed it to me and he said, hey, mom, do you mind me asking, what do you do for a living? And I was like, well, it depends. Why? And he said, you just seem to have your shit together. Guys, he didn't see inside my house. There was nothing. I was like in my pajamas. It's the energy, right? It's the energy. And I was like, well, have you ever heard of Arbonne? No. Right, you know what happened next, okay? So again, that happened. Someone else really random messaged me today. Someone, I don't even know how she found my reel really randomly. She loved my energy. So what is your energy like? Because if you're copying and pasting messages and sending them out to people and not getting a response and not getting results, that is why you're not getting a response, not getting results, because you're just sending copy pasted messages out to people. You're not in your power. You're not showing up with energy, and you don't trust yourself. If you don't trust yourself, people won't trust you. So you need to show up there. Okay. Last one. Ask. Are you asking people? Are you asking people to, not just to take a look, are you asking people to become a consultant or become a customer? Asking. Or are you just building this relationship that takes 9 years and 7 months? How do you have time for that? I'm exhausted thinking about that. I just know that's just not the vibe. You need to ask people. I'm so like, I need to ask. I'm like, it's inside of me. And I'm like, I need to let it out. I can't control myself. I'm just like, I have to ask. How do people like keep it in? And like, I just think it's really kind of slimy to do that and to like, you know, build this relationship for 7 years and behind the scenes you're dying to ask, but you don't because you want them to trust you more. I'm like, no, just fucking ask. Just ask, right? If you trust yourself enough, you believe in Arbonne, and you are excited for where you're going, you'll ask. And if you don't, you won't. Okay? So if you need to build up belief in network marketing, the best way to do that is to ask more people so you feel more confident. It's not reading all the books. Look at someone, find someone who you can relate to, like an MVP in the company that you feel quite like. For me in the beginning, it was Annie Graft, because she was in the fitness world as well. She was selling fitness programs. And I was like, yeah, we're quite similar. And then I saw, I'm not allowed to do this anymore, but back then I saw a paycheck she'd posted online and I was like, haha, what? If she can do it, I can do it. We're literally just doing it. We're the same fitness kind of person. And so that kept me going. I was like, yeah, you don't have to be special. There's so many different types of MVPs, so many people at the top. You just have to trust yourself enough to know that you can make it happen as well. Okay, so find someone like you that you can relate to and just look up to them and don't copy them. Don't copy their words. Don't try and do what they're doing, but use it as inspiration to move forward. And your task now, before I go, is social media. Take a screenshot. Well, everybody smile and like dance and be happy. Don't look really boring and bored. Take a screenshot of the gallery, not of my face, or my face if you want, and just post it on your Instagram story and tell your network why you love this. Look, there's 500 people here, 500 people earning more money, bettering their health, inspiring people around the world. I'm so proud to be part of this. Yes, I'm so excited for my future. Going to the top, you know, whatever way you want to put it. Put that on your story. Don't just take a screenshot and put it in your story and say, oh, weekly team training. What does that mean? Your network don't know what that means, okay? Get excited. Energy is everything. Okay. That is, and lastly, don't say, I was told to put this on my story. I had a task. It was one time last year. There was a task to post on social media. And someone on the team said, oh, my upline told me to post this today and to talk about it. I was like, are you actually, why would you say that? That just makes no, why would you say that? Okay, so trust yourself. You're not being made to do it. I'm showing you what's going to help you, but trust yourself enough to do it for yourself without having to explain to your network that you were told to do it. Okay, that is it from me. Happy June. I'm excited for the rest of the year, guys.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much, National Vice President Lisa D, off to the airport. Absolutely loved that. Thank you so much. And you know what it is? It happens. So I just want to share with you, like what Lisa was sharing with you is that, you know, when you first start this business, it's about you giving value, showing up. And the more you show up as yourself, I promise you, what then kicks in is that you then become of influence within the network that you're currently in, because you're changing and you're growing. And the people who are like, oh no, maybe not that, maybe not that. If you keep going and keep being yourself, loud and proud, I promise you, you get those messages which literally feel like, oh my God, how easy is Arbonne? When they say, oh, hi Nick, can you tell me more about earning money online? Or, oh, Nick, can you tell me more about that 30-day thing? Like, it is the best feeling ever, but that doesn't come, oh, well, maybe at the beginning of your business if you're already of influence, but 9 times out of 10, that doesn't come at the beginning, but you have to earn your stripes to get there. But I promise you, it absolutely comes. And, you know, just like Lisa, like, you know, you can see it's that energy that you're drawn to. But I just want to say, you know, I am one of these people, and I'm learning, I'm getting better, but I am one of these people, you know, however much success I have, I still feel I have to have my makeup on to do an Insta story, you know, and I will and Ben's like, bloody hell, what are you putting your makeup on again today? I'm like, oh, you know, because I need to do stuff in my stories. Like, it's fucking ridiculous, right? Isn't it just insane, right? Because actually that's not who I am all the time, but I'm still working on it. So just let us all know that we're all still a work in progress as well. No one ever arrives. We never get there. We got to, you know, like work through these things. But I'm, you know, a 2-word national vice president, growing an incredible business, and I still got to put my face on before I go on Insta Live or Insta stories. So I just want to know that we're all there with you. So thank you, Lisa, so much. That was an epic training. Just so many incredible golden nuggets. And remember that that 7 minutes training condensed so we can watch it back again. So now I'm going to hand over to the absolute goddess. Where is she? Oh, there she is. So this lady is, for me, the epitome of Arbonne. What I love about Sarah is that she is so graceful, calm, and slow. And everything that I wasn't when I started my Arbonne business. I was like hectic, fast, erratic. I swore a lot. I still sometimes swear. I swear. And like, I always felt like I was like here, like panicky. And then you meet Sarah and she's like, I'm picking up a pen. And I'm going to write a note. And then I'm going to eat to dinner, and I'm the number 1 income earner in the whole world, and live stream. I mean, you know, I just like, you can be like this, and you can have success that's beyond my wildest imagination. Like, it's just beautiful in every sense. And this is why I, you know, we just love Sarah, the incredible executive national vice president, Sarah Dunning, so much, because she's everything that, for me, I want to be, and so much more. So here she is to finish us off this evening in true Dunning style. Please welcome EMVP Sarah Dunning.
Thanks, Nick. That is so funny. Can I tell you a really funny story? I think I've always had that slowness about me. I once got sacked from an egg packing job that I used to have for being too slow. So it's just my innate nature. Like, I've become calmer, but I was basically unemployable at an egg packing factory. So there you go. It's true, I am very slow. I just see some comments there from some people. Right, okay, let's go. So I can bring the energy. I can be calm, but I can bring the passion. That's actually a really key secret. When you're doing Arbonne, you've got to mix it up. You've got to bring the energy, and then if any dancers on here, you can relate it to light and shade, like how you become an exciting dancer. You go pow from the beginning, then you like slow it down, and you intertwine the sharpness and the smoothness, and that's what makes an exciting dancer. It's exactly the same with Arbonne. Like, you've got to bring the enthusiasm and the passion, but if you're like that all the time, like Nick was saying, people like back off. But if you bring that enthusiasm and then centered and calm, like, do not mess with me. I know what I'm sharing with you. I believe in this big time. And then bring the passion and energy back. That's a real top tip when you're talking about the business. So in talking about the business, I want to talk about how to share vision with your ICs and your prospects. So this is going to be the difference. And the reason why we've said earnings.almond.com, so you know what's typical, but the reason why we see people move fast in the business is not because they know more information than somebody else. So there can be that tendency to think, I don't know everything yet, I'm still not knowledgeable on that, I still don't quite know how I'm doing that. It's just moving, it's action. And I think it was Lisa that just said that. Only by doing do you ever learn and get better. So that's what you have to do, messy action, and that's how you figure it out. So why people have huge success quickly, when we've seen that in the past, is nothing to do with what they know. They know nothing. I remember Claire Fishenden didn't know half the products in the catalogue, and she was a region. Like, she didn't have a clue that we sold a mascara, I don't think, but she didn't care. She was passion on and vision on fire. So know that it's your energy that matters. And the first thing you need to know to sell the vision to your ICs and your PCs, you have to be sold first. You have to be sold on the vision yourself first before you can even begin to give your team and your future prospects the vision of where you're going. So I want to ask yourself, are you sold on your vision? Are you crystal clear? Do you know where you're heading? Do you know what your future life looks like? Do you know why you believe in this company and this industry so much? Are you so sold that nobody would question you? Because everyone you've heard speak tonight, you can hear it in their voice. They are sold, and you would join them. So you're probably all watching this going, this is incredible. I love these people. Oh my goodness. But they've become like that because they moved, they took messy action, and now they have the conviction and the belief that they know what they're doing and they know where they're going. That's all it is. So don't get too caught up in overthinking everything. That's a massive, massive point. Are you overthinking? 99.9% of you, the answer is yes. You're overthinking, you're not moving. You have to move courageously. Don't overthink, just move, take action. And then before you know it, you start to build more courage, you start to be more confident, and that's what builds over time as you move and take action. So the first thing you might need to sort out in this situation is your vision and your belief and your conviction in what you're doing. It has to be that. So prospects, just a few points on the two different areas. So prospects, they need to know, what you're going to create from this. And that comes from your conviction. So where will you be in 5 years' time? And are you telling people that? So I remember I used to say to people, this will change my life. Like when people used to say, well, what are you doing it for? Because it'll change my life beyond any recognition. Fact. I used to say that without wavering, when I've not sponsored one single person in a year. So again, are you still thinking, oh, but why would anyone trust me because of where I'm at right now? You're putting your results onto somebody else. That's not fair because they're not you. They could start this and be a nation in a year. You're being selfish and you're thinking about yourself if that's how you're operating. So always operate from a place of what this could be for you. And my vision is this, but make sure it's really clear that you're really set on where you're going to be in 5 years and know that that's going to happen. And that's what people buy into, someone who knows where they're going. I've heard it so many times before. People don't follow someone that floats, just aimlessly. A leader without a goal is a team without a direction. You need to get a direction, get clear on it, declare it to your team, know where they're going. If your team currently right now floundering, it's because they don't know where you're going. Like, you need to know exactly where you're going in the next couple of years. So number 2 is, do you know why Arbonne? Do you know why Arbonne as a company? So I shared on a call a few weeks ago, and Eric Worre called it. He talked about there was different stages of companies. And if you're looking to invest in the network marketing or find a company right now, what would he suggest that you look for? And there was 8 points. And one of those points, and the most important point, what he said is the final one, was timing. So just think about this as I'm sharing it with you. Number 1, you might find a company that's a startup. So they are high risk. You're going to have to be emotionally prepared for the roller coaster that's ahead of you. There's going to be ups and downs and all sorts of stuff. We know, like launching a new website, what that can do. But imagine the whole company startup. It's huge. It's massive. You've got to be prepared to be in that place to do that. The second part, or the second option, is a company that has stability. So that instability in network marketing is a decade plus. So a company that's proven itself to withstand, because this business model is not easy to create. It requires culture. And if you don't have the stability of strong leadership underpinning it, companies don't stick around. So 10 years plus is classed as they've got some solid leadership. They know where they're going, but there's probably some potential for growth. There might be some potential for growth. And the third option is a company that's decades and decades old. So like 20 plus years, but they'll have done their growth. They'll be in over probably 100 plus countries. People, can you flipping hear what I'm saying? There is not a company in the industry right now that is sat where we are sitting. If you're not sharing that with everybody, and if you're not saying, I have the golden ticket in my hands, what you're going to witness in the next 2 years is this company doubling. Do you want to be a part of that? You're not sharing the vision. Like, you're not bought and sold on that. You need to be out there looking for your future business partners and saying, this is the company to be in. This is where you want to be. Don't look at anything else, but that is so important that you're sold on that yourself, and you get how huge that is. Just that tiny little element is huge. I could go on for another hour just on Arbonne alone, but I won't do. So just take that and think about what else you can share with people. So paint your vision for Arbonne and where you see yourself in the company. And the third thing is obviously the industry. Like, can you paint the vision of the industry? And are you really good at sharing why this is a better option than everything else in the economy today? Because if you currently can't, that's also why you're not sold on it. What I became really clear on really quickly is, oh my God, there is nothing that everybody in my life could do right now to create a reoccurring income like this. And you need to get really good at saying to people, with earnings.arbonne.com, but you can absolutely say this. Now Tyler's made it clear that we can. We want to say to people, do you know, if you want time freedom and choices, so get this sentence in your one-to-ones. If you want time, freedom and choices. So do you know anybody that wants time, freedom and choices? And this is the reality. Everybody wants Arbonne. Everybody wants what Arbonne will give, but we're not good enough at educating people that this is the answer. That's the problem with network marketing. So we need to become smarter, we need to become clearer, we need to become better educators, because I personally believe if most people understood what this was, they'd be doing it. Because the simple question is, if you asked everybody in your life, would you like more time and choices? What do you think they'd say? And the second question is, have you got a plan to create that? The first answer is yes. The second question is no. So you have the answer. And that is what this industry gives people, the opportunity to create a reoccurring income. And if they don't currently have an option or a way to do that, then just say, this is actually the best option out there. This is the best option in the economy today. It's not perfect. I love Eric Worre's line. It's not perfect. It's just better. Fact. And I can honestly tell you that from 13 years of being in this industry, having huge amounts of earnings from Arbonne and having the opportunity to invest in other businesses, invest in other companies, buy franchises. And I've looked at everything. I'm like, it's naff. Like, it's literally, I'm like, you're kidding me. Got to invest 100,000 into that. And then you still got to pay for the premises. You've still got to pay for the employees, and you've still got that amount of overheads before you've even got anything coming in. There is nothing that compares to network marketing. Like, you have to get that as much as I have got it in the fiber of my being. That's why I'm 7 wide. I know that's why I'm 7 wide. Not because I'm perfect at anything else, to be honest, pretty bad at lots of stuff, but I know I have more passion and belief and vision in this industry than most people do. And that's it. If you can sell yourself on that and really dig deep and think, why is it the best industry? Do all the podcasts, read all the books. Rich Dad Poor Dad, that was a massive book for me. So are you sold on the vision of the industry? ICs. There's a tip on IC. So once people are on board, obviously you have to continue painting the vision. And this is another downfall that happens, I find, in the business. So are you constantly in the habit, this is a habit, are you in the habit of talking vision to your team? And not only in a training, you might not currently get the opportunity to do a training, but just in conversations every day. I remember when it was me and Saz and Scott and Hetty, and I'd constantly say, can you imagine? Do you know it's coming? Imagine when? one day we'll be able to. This is what we'll be every day, all the time. Like wherever we were, I will be pointing out things. We'll be able to stay in that hotel. We'll stay there for like days at end after a DA just because we can. Imagine when we're in Maui, like we will be laying in some lounges, we'll be in that, you just got to talk it all the time. And I love Sammy Reed is the epitome of talking vision into conversation all the time. And look at her business, like that's what comes from constantly talking vision. So engage in conversation. And then on top of that, you want to, in addition to that, be breathing belief into your consultants and why you know they can do it with you. So get really good at identifying what are their qualities and the reasons why you know they're a national vice president. You have to be the hunter to discover people, like listen intently to people, pick up every single little good point that you can find in someone's personality to tell them why they're going to be good at Arbonne. Because there are so many things that make people good at Arbonne, and you need to be the person that's constantly listening out for someone saying something or doing something or evidence that you can say, that's why you're an EMVP. That's why you're going to make this work. You just showed that this, and that's why I know. Like, make that a habitual conversation in your day-to-day building of your business. So I think I've run out of time, but just the habit of breathing belief into ICs, know what's possible for them. Obviously talking vision into them in coaching calls and training calls. But most importantly, the bottom line is they will buy into your belief for a certain amount of time until somebody has their own belief. And that is always the way it goes. You breathe enough belief into people that eventually they start to think, well, she must think that I can do it because she's been saying it for like years now. So maybe I'm going to start to believe myself. And that phase is normally just when someone just has to do the self-development and building of self-worth through taking action, through reading all the other stuff, till they get to the point where they think, yeah, I can do this myself. But until that point, you have to be the person that's going, you can, you will, this will happen, this will happen. You're the affirmation that's going to make them show what is possible in the future vision for their life for this company. It has to be powerful, it has to be consistent, it has to be constant all of the time, because people need it in the beginning, and they need it continually, but definitely in the beginning. So that's all I will leave you with. Thank you so much. This has been absolutely epic. Thank you so much, Lucy Superfox, for organising, and can't wait to watch the recording again.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Doesn't it literally just make you so hot and sweaty with passion, excitement? I literally feel like I'm not going to go to bed for 48 hours. Get me out of that window. I am going out to share this with the world and anyone that would listen to me. But thank you so much, Sarah. Always incredible as always. So what we are going to do now, I do know that it is getting a little bit later on. So if you do need to go, that's absolutely fine. But we're going to stay on here and just do a quick Q&A session, because I know that there's been so many people wanting to ask questions, and and sometimes there might be people within this on this Zoom call right now that don't have access maybe to the national vice presidents, or that they want to. So if you do have a question, please pop it in the chat below, and we will get onto those straight away. So I do know that there was someone. Let me have a little look. Sarah Dunning, so Heidi. Sarah Dunning, what is your 5-year vision? Go.
Oh my God, I wasn't ready for that question. For me,
sorry. Yep, Sarah Dunning, 5-year vision.
Okay, yeah, for me, I've always been focused on 20 wide. Yeah. So that's the absolute baseline where I begin, 20 wide nations. And that's just because I know that's a huge impact on how much impact that will have on people. Like the amount of people, to have 20 wide nations, there's going to have to be hundreds of thousands of people. My other goal is at least 1 million a month from Arbonne. And it's Arbonne.com, not possible, but not typical, but it's definitely possible. So I want to be leading by example to show you what you can absolutely earn in this business. And I know there's so many nations that are going to do that too. And build my own house. That's another vision. And have a house in Mallorca, and so many other things, like so many things in the 5-year vision, but there's the surface ones.
Absolutely amazing. We're with you there, 100 bazillion%. Okay, so Sarah, can you give an example of how you ask to look at the business and how you close them if they're on the fence? So basically, fence sitters. Have you got any tips for a fence sitter?
That me?
Yeah. Sorry.
Fence sitter. I think the best thing to do with someone who's not quite sure is get them to make a decision. Because people don't make a decision, because if they're not saying yes or no, basically they're not missing out. So they can say no, but they still think I could do it at some point, but they're not saying yes. So they have to face the fear of taking action and doing something. So I just find to say, do you know what? Let me know either way. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me whether you do it or not, but just let me know in the next 24 hours what your decision is. And then they'll make a decision. And a lot of time people will sway towards, yeah, go on, let's do it. And just, it is saying, like what Lucy said, there's lots of different ways to fit this business. So it depends where you see yourself. Where do you see yourself? Oh, there's so much. That's an objection handling training as well, because then you could go into, you know, what's actually stopping you getting started? What part about it is, do you think you won't be able to do that? So I think that's probably a whole training in itself. But I think just asking that question, yes or no, in the next 24 hours has always been helpful for me. And then if they say, no, not right now, then you want to make sure, well, I'm always going to be I'm always going to be here doing this. So just let me know when you want to get back in touch.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you. Quick question for Lucy Superfox. And I think the answer is IC. Lucy, how would you enroll an R1 brand ambassador?
As an IC, 1,000,000%. Yeah,
As an IC.
It needs to be an IC. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're still making money. So they're earning money from.
They're just not enrolling other ICs. That's all at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. What did you do? The answer, Samantha Prenter, the answer is never pay for anybody. Never, ever, 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 ever. That's good. Do you pay for their monthly order? So no, definitely not. Next question. When saying about inviting people on the Be Well as brand ambassador, doesn't that mean they'll be receiving freebies or earning something from it? Ruth Lewis, I think for this kind of question, you need to go back to, this is just like a kind of day-to-day training with the person that introduced you to the company. If that person doesn't know the answer, go to your upline, which will be probably your area manager that would know that question. Okay, Nicola, I'm heading to New Zealand as soon as borders open. What's different about business out there? And do you have any top tips of building out there? Oh my goodness, question. Is the business different? No, it's not. It's not different at all. I would say to you, the people in New Zealand are open-minded, more open-minded than the UK, I would say. Also, they really appreciate directness, you know, and also, I'd also say that they love a get-together. So if you can get them, you know, either. Well, I used to go to do launches at people's houses, and it was like the girls would dress up in a gown and drink champagne, and that would just be going around to their mate's house because there's not so much, especially in the South Island where I was training, there wasn't so much going on. So, you know, the girls get together around someone's house was just incredible and just as amazing as going out to a big night out to a restaurant. So that's what I would say. Definitely bring people together, the buzz and energy of that. But again, it's no different really to the UK, but I would say that they have more value on it, definitely in New Zealand. I think Lisa D is gone for that as a question for her. Sorry, I just want to make sure I cover a few of them. Oh, this one's a good one. Right, so let me see, Sarah Law. How do you deal with your immediate friendship group not believing in the opportunities Arbonne has to offer?
Oh my goodness, be the frickin' evidence. Like, you have to decide that you're going to make it work to prove to them, and not from a place of like spite, but do it from a place of I owe it to them to show them that this is real and it works. I honestly, when I started, none of my close friends said yes to me at all. None of them, not a single person. And I just knew that I had to be the one to prove to them that it worked. And then 10 years on, some of them said yes. And all they ever say to me now is, why did I not say yes 10 years ago? And I was like, because I needed to be the one to prove to you that it worked. And I wasn't there to convince you. I just needed to show you. So you just have to be the one that decides that when your friends say no, there are 50,000 other people out there looking for Arbonne. Like, really, how many people out there are looking for what Arbonne offers? Millions of people. So you just need to go and connect with those people, find those people and give them the gift. And some of your friends over time, when you become the evidence, will go, okay, you've shown me now that this works. I believe you. And then they'll join.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so can I answer Ellie's Nick? Yeah, absolutely. Go on, Sarah. Sarah, her question is, any top tips on building urgency for ICs who have a long-term vision but are quite comfortable where they're at? This is a great question. And I think if we're all good, this is going to be the final question. So Sarah can leave us on this. The question from Ellie. Go on, Sarah, share your goodness with us.
All the shows. I think with that question, you just need to make sure that people really understand where the industry is going. Like, if they're just lax and thinking, I'll take my time with it, that might be where they're at. But if they've got a future vision, you need to move right now. Like, everybody is looking for a network marketing opportunity. I just look back to the last 13 years ago when I started, and nobody was doing network marketing. Like, it was such an unusual thing. And now everybody knows someone that's successful in the network marketing industry. So you can say to them, you can absolutely sit around and wait, but I really wouldn't, because whilst you're taking your time and not moving with a sense of urgency, somebody else is talking to your neighbor, someone else is talking to a girl that you would connect to on Instagram, someone else is talking to people at speed with urgency. So it's just being mindful that the opportunity won't always be the opportunity it is today. I think that's so good to think in mind, because we just assume that, you know, the way the industry is and the way Arbonne is as a company right now, that it'll always be like this. But it is the most incredible, insane opportunity where it is right now. And that's why there are lots of people joining and sharing in the whole industry. But that's definitely what's going to happen in the next couple of years. If you think as a company, Tyler said we're going to double in the next 18 months, I think it is. I can't remember when he actually said. But that means a lot of people joining the business and hearing about the products and hearing about the brand. So I just say to them, don't sit out and watch. Like, get in and get moving. And actually, that's only consistency. It doesn't mean going mental necessarily, but it means getting a consistent habit with your personal activity every single day to make sure you are growing your own business fast.
Absolutely. And so in closing, guys, that is the end of today's, tonight's masterclass, Enrolling Masterclass. I can hand on heart say it has been of immense value for me at the level that I'm at. So I know if you are a brand new consultant, you're quite early on in your business, this is just going to be absolute gold. Take this away with you, take the notes, breathe it in, and most importantly, take action on what you have heard tonight. Nothing happens unless you move. My biggest takeaway from this evening. So get moving. I can't wait to see this group, you know, double, triple over the next few months as we're doing more and more and more enrolling. It's been an absolute pleasure hosting for you this evening. Have a wonderful night's sleep if you can, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.